Reputation rules. Winning the 2026 iGaming market with brand power.
Hey everyone, and I'm glad to welcome you here on our yet another panel session for today. We're just taking a few more minutes to assemble the guests here, and before we continue with introducing and speaking with our panelists, I would like to take one more moment to basically urge you to download and to get access to our iGaming Trends 2026 report and macro insights that might be useful for your business. Thank you. And now we're starting. All of us are here. Almost all of us here. All right. One more person will join us for today, but for now, just to not waste time, maybe I'll ask you to personally introduce yourselves and to speak just in a few sentences about what you do. We have such a wonderful panel today. We have all high-ranking officials in their respective companies. Okay, so please go ahead.
I'll buy you some time. So my name is Martin Zarian. I'm the co-founder of brand strategy and software agency called Factory 39. We are based out of Limassol. And a lot of the stuff that you see around when it comes to Sigma was our rebranding 2 years ago. So we've done the global brand strategy for Sigma. We're working together with Demand for a couple of years. And we basically help companies in highly saturated, highly differentiated markets stand out and build brand and drive sales through brand perception versus product perception.
All right. Could I ask you, if I may, what does 39 stand for? I know you get this question all the time.
It's too early in the day to give you the honest answer or that. No, it's very simple. My name is Martin. My business partner name is Zen. So in the alphabet, when you match together those two letters, equals to 39. So it was a desire of us to have something of our own in the name, but without actually putting our names or our surnames or anything cheesy like that. So it's a number of our initials on the alphabet.
All right, some numerology involved right here. Thank you so much.
So I'm Andreas. I work for an affiliate company, so we are the guys who send traffic. So that's one of two hats that I wear. I also have an academic role. I'm a full professor at the university. And guess what? I teach ethics, which is an interesting topic for this industry.
Thank you. Just in time, we have our third panelist, Alexandre.
Still time, Alex.
Hi, guys. You already introduced yourself?
Yeah, just a few.
All right. So my name is Alex Tomic. I'm a biohacker enthusiast, I would say this way. I have a Oura Ring, I have a Whoop, I have a Fitbit.
Yeah, please make sure to...
Because monitoring right here. And it's something we share in the company and within the iGaming industry. I think we've distributed over 200 or 300 Whoops to all the iGaming community. And we have a community within the application Whoop where we track each other. We are holding ourselves accountable, and we have a WhatsApp group where we look at all these metrics together.
All right. And we have Barb, and we go to the discussion.
Yeah, I'm Barb from Revpanda group. I'm based in Latvia. We are a traffic powerhouse company. We do both B2B and B2C marketing, but mainly focus on acquisition and retention for the B2C operators.
Thank you. Now that we have the full pack, let's take a closer look at the industry. Actually, according to our iGaming report, we see that the message that kind of stands out and sticks out a mile is that branding and branding messages will become the true differentiators in iGaming. And let's take a look at the B2C sector. Now, what are the must-have elements a brand simply cannot exist without, in your opinion? And what are the differentiators that elevate it from, yet another brand to being an exceptional brand trustworthy, with very high level of positive perception. And go ahead, who wants to go first?
Should I go?
Sure.
Well, I think the iGaming industry is a really interesting place because the reality is that most of the provider, most of the game studios, and most of the brands out there do not offer anything unique. The reality that product-wise, feature-wise, innovation-wise, they're all spinning off pretty much the same things. And it's an industry that, in my honest opinion, it's way behind in terms of brand building versus esports or other forms of entertainment. So what does that mean? What does that mean when you don't have the ability to innovate and to protect an innovative product and to have product differentiation? That your only possible solution to build a successful business is to build a brand, to build a different perception, to generate trust. Trust is the strongest driver, but also to have the courage to be different. And I see not many brands in the space that do have the courage to say things differently, to stand to something, and to generate a perception that is differentiated. So I think we are starting to tap into the real brand power, but we still have a long way to go. And the future will be of those companies that manage to create a brand for the longer term perception. They stop obsessing about lead generation and short-term goals, and they become memorable once the demand of that specific user comes into place. They know this is the brand I want versus the other. And even if the products are the same, I will still pick that brand.
Got it. The previous panel mentioned that there are some newcomers to the market, for example, crypto-first brands that move fast and break things, end quote. But what about the more traditional brands that are, with us for many years? What in your opinion, and again, I address this to anyone, what in your opinion could they do now to really differentiate and build out from any competitors?
In my opinion, branding is key. And when you talk about differentiation, it's not only differentiation of your brand to another brand, it's differentiation of licensed and unlicensed. I think we have a lot of countries where the culture says, oh, the reputation of this industry is not the best. And in many countries, you would not really admit that you play. And I think getting the complete industry outside this a bit shady reputation, which is a perception, is one important segment of branding, especially when you are keen on channelization, when you're looking into getting players into where gambling is licensed. And it's maybe you can see that when you talk to colleagues of mine and they are asked, what are you doing for business? Some people say, we do something on the internet with links. So not everyone is saying, I advertise gambling. And as long as you have such a reputation, yes, it's business, you have to stand out with your brand. But as an industry, it's super important that we position the complete industry where it belongs to. Most of us are not criminal. I hope nobody on the panel.
Thank you. Thank you for the insights. Just going forward with our conversation, if we just jump to the B2B segment, in terms of the different, product verticals, a lot of products might seem the same, especially for an outside observer, someone who is not deeply involved into the B2B space. He's not, a mover or shaker. But in your opinion, what matters more? Emotional positioning of the brand in B2B, or the hardcore stuff, the product features, the objective qualifiers. What holds more true for the iGaming industry?
Okay, so I would like to take a step back. I think it's, first of all, when we talk about branding, we should first talk about, even before the mission and the vision, we should talk about the values we have. We should talk about questions as core as why do we do the things we do? Why is it we're doing what we're doing? And in an industry like iGaming, you could say it's a little bit complicated to answer that question because we don't really bring value to society, you know? Like healthcare. I'm talking about real healthcare. I'm not talking about pharmaceutical industry. We don't really bring value to society. We could say, yeah, we bring entertainment here, but we also take money from players. Okay, to be honest, I'm here for the money. It's not a good start. So then we need to build up a fake story. But is there something else? Again, why do we do the things we do? And what's the most important thing? There's been studies that has been done. What generates the most of emotion in a human being? And they looked at different type of emotions, love being one of the highest ranking one. What ranks above love? Authenticity. So you need to be authentic. Okay, let's get back to our white page. Why do we do the things we do? Gaming, I make for money. Wait. There's something else. There's the people personally I work with that I don't have a family, okay? So let's start with that. I don't have a wife, don't have kids. These people are the most important people in my life. And when I go to the office or when I jump into meetings with them, I'm playing with them. They are the teammates. I could almost tell you they are the soulmates I'm playing this game with. When we start by that, and then we say, okay, what are our values? I want to be surrounded by kind people. I don't want assholes in my life. And I don't want to hire assholes because I don't want assholes to damage the people that I love. That's a good start. So we have this first value, let's say, that would be kindness. But then I also want these people to work. Because if they're here around and they don't do anything and we don't produce anything, it's not a fun game. Because it is a game at the end of the day. We're playing like a video game. So what I want them to deliver. I want tenacity. I want things to be done, you know? So that's another interesting value. But we need to get to the core philosophical values of what do we do, the things we do. From there, when we have the value, we can find ourselves a vision. Where are we going towards? Okay, and we can find ourselves a mission. How are we going to do it? But it has to come from core values. And I think that at the core of these values, we have to have the deep human connection that exists between these people that are working together and that are creating a tribe. And just the last point on the tribe, I think I've said 100 times ad nauseum, but I'm going to repeat it again. It's a tribe, it's not a family. And why it's a tribe? Because it's ruled by meritocracy and hierarchy. It means that if you don't do your job correctly, meritocracy, you're going to be thrown out of the tribe. In a family, if you're drug addicts, I keep you in the family, not in a tribe. And there is hierarchy. And you also want it to be a tribe. You don't want it to be a family because these people, they have a family. And because family is run by blood. What does that mean? The stupid brother has more rights than the smart cousin. So you don't want to be in a family. And it's bullshit when a company says, we're a family. Bullshit.
And that is actually a very practical point of view. It might seem philosophical, but I find it very practical because I believe any company should be built on human relationships at first. Of course, the goal of any business is to be profitable, is to turn out money and generate the proceeds. But the execution of this business and subsequently the branding of this business is not possible without real values. And real values are conveyed by people. So I absolutely agree with this point. Today we have a wonderful panel, and we have a founders-led panel today. And I'd like to take this opportunity to ask, in many cases, a founder's personal brand, a founder's personal reputation leads the business, is an indicator of how a strong company is, sometimes precedes the business. And for many companies, this holds true not only at the early stages, but for years, sometimes for decades on end. But when we have such a situation, we are going to have, a bus factor equals one situation as well. So where do you draw the line between a personal brand of a founder of any company, B2C, B2B, and the brand and the values of this company as a business? Maybe you, Barb, could come first because you haven't spoken just yet.
I really think it's a bit more the mentality of the company. To give an example, we can talk about Tesla being run by Elon Musk. It's almost $1 trillion company, but still the main branding of that company is Elon Musk, despite they have a very pure product that's very strong in the market and leading its own market. The same was with Apple, even like the Steve Jobs era. Now with Tim Cook, it's a bit decreasing. And if we have to talk about our industry, well, we have Alea, just to give an example. And it was mostly Alex's presence. But now with the integration of Whoop community, I can tell you that it's becoming more about the company and its own branding. By the way, you guys are sick in that community. Just to tell you, it's like everyone is competing each other, and now everybody is more aware of Alea. And once the companies establish themselves a bit more, and they want to have more, they feel their feet on the ground a bit more, I can see the differentiation there. Like other stakeholders in the company take the stage a bit more, and they look more corporate from that end. And obviously, as the companies grow, it also becomes a matter of budget, and they can also invest in many other things, extracurricular activities. They can sponsor some events, even do some like a collaboration with other companies, which is very productive for their branding and take a bigger market share in that particular position. I think, but as you said earlier, still companies are people-oriented, even though it's B2B, and we break the ice here and build connections with other people as well. That's also part of branding too. And in my opinion, that will be that's the clear distinction. Company has established something with itself. Founder goes his or her own way a bit more, and the company, as it's established itself with the services or tools or the goods it's providing, goes another way from the, like it basically distincts automatically after some point.
And do you have anything to add to this, Jens?
I think personal branding is inevitable, and I think Alex knows really well. He's very active. He's everywhere. He's the face in one way or another of Alea. And I think the fundamental truth that will never change is that people hate to be sold, but they love to buy, and people buy from people, and especially in B2B. If you wanna position your company successful, you also need to start thinking about building and leveraging your personal brand, because that will drive traffic. Like personally at Factory 39, we do zero advertisement, zero marketing, and almost like 90% of the work that we get is because there is someone that wants to work with us on a personal level. And the other fundamental truth about personal branding is that everyone is already a personal brand. People have a perception about you, you're perceived in a way, they trust you, they don't trust you for that image that you generate. So it's better to generate an image that will bring strategic value to your business. And by this, I don't mean faking it, because one of the very good important points that Alex mentioned is authenticity, right? So we see a lot of bullshit now online of content creators that act and behave in a specific way online, and then you meet them and they're completely different. That is a bad brand. But if you can create an authentic, powerful personal brand that puts you in the right places at the right moment, it's a massive, massive, massive business driver that will never die until the moment that you die, you go into the grave. So I think in 2025 and 2026 going forward, I think it's silly not to invest in your personal branding.
Thank you.
I would like to support that, and also with a very simple thing. Personal branding is so much cheaper than branding a legal entity. As you say, everyone is a brand, so you have to get known, and all of that has to be developed when you try with a company. And look at this. Imagine you are a newcomer, you are invisible. But if you make it to a panel like that, everyone has the same size and the same chance. And in my opinion, the personal branding is the way forward. I also think all this data-driven statistics, what you can learn about casinos and games, is something where one day people will say, I want to listen to a face that I can trust with a recommendation, and I don't want to investigate, I just take it. And that, in my opinion, is the benefit of personal branding that will, by the way, also not be beaten by AI. Because we don't want to buy a book written by a bot. We want to buy it from an author that exists.
Yeah, thank you for this perspective. We have just a few minutes before we wrap up this session, and I wanted to ask this interesting question. Reputation and trust is very hard to quantify, arguably. So how could a brand measure an ROI or the goodwill of its brand power in iGaming?
I believe you can't really look at ROI there. If you start looking at ROI on reputation, it's like looking at ROI on loft. Reputation, values, branding, usually, I mean, at least at Alea, we don't look at ROI. One thing also is that reputation is built over years. It takes 10, 15, 20 years of building your reputation, basically being in all of these shows, showing up again and again, not fucking up with anyone, trying to be as truthful to your words, and you can ruin it in 5 minutes. You just need to fuck up one time, maybe 2 times, and you ruin a reputation very, very quickly. So it costs a lot and a lot of time to build these reputational good signs, and you can read them very easily. And again, there's not really ROI on that. However, you can measure the shine. I would call it the shine.
The shine.
The shine. And the shine is when people come to you, all this feedback that you get, that people are coming to you and telling you, we want to work with you because we trust you. We want to work with you because each time we talk with people from your team, they seem to be smart, they seem to be kind, and they take us as true partners. We don't have the feeling that they're trying to get an advantage on us. When we enter a negotiation, there is empathy. You put yourself in the shoes of the partner in front. I'm not trying to squeeze your price to get to put a 3-4% margin on top of it. I will keep my margin at 2%, for example. I will not squeeze you. I want you to make money. We make money. You make money, and the customer is going to be happy. But it is very important to consider this as an ecosystem, and everybody has to feed. And I had a family member of mine who told me when I was like 16, 17 years old, he said, Alex, imagine a table full of money, coins, gold coins on the table. Don't take it like that and take everything towards you. Take it like that, so you leave some coins on the table in between your fingers. You take just what's necessary for you. Don't take everything. And that's very important, especially in an industry like the iGaming industry, which is a small industry. Word of mouth goes very quickly around. Karma has a fast pace here. If I do something wrong to you or to you, you're going to talk between each other. We're going to know very quickly who you really are.
That's true, and especially in a highly competitive industry as iGaming, we also believe that one mark of a brand power and brand authenticity, like to say, is its ability to, compete smoothly and nicely, and still be ethical and still be, a good guy or a good company for that matter. All right, gentlemen, it's just one last minute of our session, and it's time for a blitz question. What do you think any good, reputable iGaming brand should start doing in 2026?
You want to start?
That's not so blitz, but I can be very quick about it since we have less than 30 seconds. Investing in reputation is starting from B2B actually in our B2C environment. So if you have good partners, if you have good partnerships built with other companies, especially for the operators, I can speak. If you have very good partnership and based on your reputation, they will be driving the most traffic to you and the most quality traffic to you. And if you treat your players coming into your brand a bit more legitimately, a bit more validly, you will be able to have the best LTV out of it because they will be speaking everywhere about your brand on platforms like Trustpilot and some other review platforms, which will drive your conversions a bit higher. You will acquire more players, and most likely they will stay more, and that's the winning formula in my opinion.
All right, investing in partners. Okay, I think we're out of time. I think it was quite a fruitful and insightful session. I would like to extend my gratitude to everyone here and to Sigma Show for providing this wonderful environment for us, speaking and exchanging opinions in an open manner. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
What an incredible session. Thank you so much to Max, our moderator, and to all the panelists. Could we give them the loudest applause you can give? Let's go.